writing so many times and what I was doing. And I this is Hero with Thousand Faces, one of the influential books of the world, they say. And that was about this Steven Pinker book, Better, because he gives examples of so many people. One example that he gives is about, and this is Growth Delusion, and this is one more book about Steven Pinker and 9 Steps. So again, Walter Isaacson. So if you think about it, all these books, Leonardo da Vinci, and this is also, so Tony Joseph, this is early Indians. It is also about Indus. So, so this book is about the Roman Empire, and this is about how this printing press came in. This is about the cultural history, or how British civil servants helped in discovering culture and artifacts of India. This book about Obama was gifted to be my friend, and this is Henry Kissinger's book. Anyone who's interested in foreign policy, Henry Kissinger's book, all the books. This is about China. So diplomacy actually has a lot of things that we have to understand and then do. This is Revenge of Geography, or how geographical, there is a topic, geographical determinism, how geography helps or concludes this geopolitics in the world. This is about one nice history of India. This is so good. And this is the transformational or transformative constitution. This Gautam Bhatia, he's a young person, and he practices law. He writes very nicely. This book by Nirupama Rao, this is a Fractured Himalayas, or the problems between India and China. I'm not able to, or I was not able to read or complete this book, but it's a good book. Yeah, I think we have to read next book. I have to read this. This is Shoe Dog. This is one of the very favorite book. This is about Phil Knight, or how he actually, Phil Knight, how he has this or starts this company of Nike from a very young student, how he transformed this company. So that is about that. This is Leadership by, again, Doris Goodwin, and this is again World Order. This was suggested by Mark Zuckerberg. This was suggested by him, and very nice book, wonderful in understanding how our politics, or how world politics evolved. And this is Shyam Saran's book, and this is Shiv Shankar Menon's book, and this is India, that is the geopolitics of India. It was a good book. It was, in a sense, a very good book about understanding geopolitics. This is the Dark Era of Darkness by Shashi Tharoor, and this one more book about Lincoln. That is the thing is that I have this habit of collecting books of Lincoln, and how it's a detailed account of how Lincoln and the life of Lincoln. And one more person actually who I really like is Nehru. And this book, if you think about it, it's a 1000-page book, and this book is what I read for one of my, or after mains, there was a huge gap between interview and mains, one of the mains in 2014, I think. I got fascinated by this book so much. The questions that he asked, the questions that these are all actually letters. These are all not, this is not a book. This is a letter. This is a collection of, so Glimpses of World History. This is a collection of letters written by Jawaharlal Nehru to Indira Gandhi. But all the things that he said in this book, I do not know. He actually made me, this is the book which made me go in search of so many answers, so many questions that even today I find it unanswered. One of the wonderful leaders of India. And one more book he had written is this Discovery of India. This is Glimpses of, this is about world history. This is about Indian history. This is also our history. This is very deeper understanding of, in a sense, leaders have this policy, or they are grouped into correct or wrong, but they have their reason for having all these decisions taken. So to understand their decisions, it is good to know their writing. And this is a book about history of America. This is a good book. And this was a gift as well. This was a gift given by my one of my friend. This is a Promised Land, and this book is a recent book which so I really liked, and I have made a video about that as well. And this book actually is a very good book to have with yourself to understand how leaders, so that is the point, leaders are grouped into positive and negative, or left or right, but they have their reasons, and when we read that, so they have their justifications for all these things, so that we should read, and when we read we will understand. And one more thing, next is this again one more person. So again one more book about Abe Lincoln. So this was given to be my friend, and this is again this is about the World War II and how it happened. This is Jared Diamond again. So this book, Silk Roads, this book should be written. Anyone who is going through or studying geography, they can look through this book. It's a very nice book detailing the history of the world. And one more book, the thing was that Glimpses of World History made me look into all these history books and search for answers. One more book was this History of the World. This gave a lot of answers, and this is about this Opium War, and this is about Alexander the Great and how he became what he was. And this is a book, a recent book, which was written by Peggy Mohan, and this is about language. That is how we can use language for telling the history of India. This Narrow Corridor, this book, these two books, this was suggested, and this, I think, Why Nations Fail, this was suggested by Anudeep Dirushetty as well. So one more book that he suggested, and I think this book also, anyone who is preparing for civil services can read this. There are many wonderful things. That is, it is said that politics does not play a part, and these two books give a way of how, that is why liberalism is also important. And this book talks about that, how our society is defined by the politics that happens. And this Empire of Cotton, this is also a very nice or different way of looking at this whole thing about the history of the world. That is how cotton, that is a product, resulted in the whole colonialism. This is our history book, and this is the first book I got when I came for civil services preparation. So this is still there. It's about the history, independence, so post-independence. Then this is there. This is a very nice novel, Gentlemen in Moscow. This is a good book. This is a good novel and to have. And this is about Buddhism. And Gail, she was a person who was working for downtrodden. I think she died a few months ago. And good book. And this is about this is Che Guevara's diaries, and this is about Genghis Khan. And the Genghis Khan, the crazy thing about this is that we can read about these people and understand, but still they are part of huge, in a sense, Alexander the Great we say, Genghis Khan the Great we say, but they have created a lot of atrocious acts. And that is what I think Nehru says in this book, both the books. He talks about that how he does not believe in all these kings and stuff, and we are a democracy. This Argumentative Indian, Amartya Sen, this is the book I got for interview. I wanted to tell it for interview. And these are all same, so history books. This Ramachandra Guha's Makers of Modern India, this book I got during my initial preparation time. So one of the first books I got at that time. So so the last column, that we are going to go is this column. This is David Eagleman, and again about the brain, and this is about the history of the world, and some few books. This is about gene, that is the 23 pairs of gene, how each pair actually is helpful for our body. And the Bill Bryson's body, this is about facts, or very nice interesting facts about the body. For example, he talks about how our DNA, the DNA that we carry in our cells, if we start taking it out and you start making it into a rope, it actually reaches the confines of solar system. This is about Neanderthal, the latest. So Neanderthals were considered as brutish or arrogant or something like that. They are not thought about as well developed. But this is a book, recent findings. It gives a sense of how Neanderthals are similar to humans, and that is why UPSC asked a question like that. And this is about Origin of Species, and again some more books on Richard Dawkins. This is Angela Saini's Inferior, or this is a book on she talks about how in a sense how women are treated, or how science got women wrong. She gives the latest evidences of science to prove that it's not the same. So earlier versions, like the way of looking at humans as, or men as alpha males and women as weak, is not true. This is also humankind a hopeful history. This book actually gives wonderful instances of how we usually think that humans are brutish or arrogant or something like that, but this gives a different picture. And this is about evolution and how we have. And this Vaclav Smil, so this is a favorite author of Bill Gates. So this book is about the energy, how, and this is the book I think in the first video I talked about Francis Fukuyama. That is the origin of, this is the book. This is the book that I do not know how many times I've read this book, but this is a book that we can keep reading, and so many things to understand history. So many wonderful things are there. And this Naked Ape, and this book, that is Human Beings Are How We Are. So it's a biology book or a biologist. And this is about this. This is Charles Darwin's book, and this is about, and all these are actually, and this another favorite author of mine, this person, this Pranay Lal. This book I suggest anyone who is having geography as an option, please do read this book. You will like this book so much. And this Invisible Empire is a recent book that he has written about viruses. And this is a Behave. So I remember so many had asked, in a sense, why did I not clear? That was because even during my mains, I used to read these books, not the books that examination has. So I remember my last mains, I was reading this book. It's soiled a bit, but anyways, this is the book I remember on that day. And this is also and this is about this Ruth Benedict, and anyone sociology or anthropology option would know Ruth Benedict, Margaret Mead, and it's about the history of that. And this is Hero with Thousand Faces, one of the influential books of the world, they say. Joseph Campbell. It's a book about mythology and how mythologies of the world are all similar. And some more books are there here. And this is also one more book about Richard Dawkins and the evolution. That is the Ancestor's Tale, and this is also a good book. And the above shelf is about UPSC books. So this is Harlan Bones and Uma Kapila, and his economics book, and these are all the books of our syllabus books. And this is the point. So I wanted to have a shelf, or I wanted to have this shelf shown, and I hope you had liked this video. And if you so many had asked for this video. So this video will be not in one. So I wanted to make the whole video. So I have made it into 4 parts. So each video will be given in one. So I hope you like this video. So please do like it. This is a shelf that I have, and this is the. So many had asked the question of why I did not clear. The thing was that it's a very strange question of why I could not clear this examination. But what I did was, this is. So I hope you liked this video, and many had asked the reason for me writing so many times and what I was doing, and I hope I gave a picture of what I was doing, and I hope you also take the lives of these leaders, and you clear this examination. This examination, as people say, is not an unpredictable examination. It is not an examination where UPSC wants you to fail. Rather, it's an examination where, like these leaders, they want you, or they want the good things for you. And I hope you achieve your goal, whatever it may be. And all the best, and thank you.